Hey, what's up, YouTubers? What's going on, man? It's your boy, Rookie OTR Trucker. As y'all can see, that's my trucker GPS talking to me. I'm gonna hit and turn that volume down. Anyhow, I'm here in Marshalltown, Iowa. Stuck at my shipper. Was supposed to pick up at 2 o'clock a.m. It's now 11 o'clock, so they're late. I had to call my company and let them know that I was going to be late delivering the load. If they were on time, the shipper was on time, I would have time to make it to my delivery. But you're going to always have setbacks like this. So my target audience, rookie truckers, beginning truck drivers, your first few months or year, even longer than that, a year and a half out on the road, be prepared for some bumps in the road. There are going to always be delays. Things are not going to go as planned. One thing I've come to know is whatever you plan on happening, it most likely won't happen that way. You got to account for traffic jams. There might be a lane closures, bad weather. They might close down the highway, or all of the above. You know what I'm saying? Might get pulled over at the weigh station, and like for example, my first trip, not my first trip, but shortly thereafter, I was coming through Missouri, and I had got pulled over at the weigh station. I didn't know how to properly go through the weigh station, so had I known what I was doing, I probably would have just skated right through. But I kept pulling on and off the scale, on and off the scale, on and off the scale. And the guy, he was like, "What are you doing? You don't know the procedure of a weigh station?" And I was like, "No, I'm in the truck by myself. This is my first time out. I don't have a trainer. Nobody showed me what to do. Besides YouTube videos, I don't know anything." So he walked me through it, made me go over the scale. And long story short, I was 1,000 pounds overweight on my drive tires, on my drive axle. Then he pulled me over and gave me an inspection, and fortunately I passed the inspection. However, he gave me a citation, not a ticket but a citation. This was in Missouri, and he said he had to because I was over 1,000 pounds on my drive tires. My gross weight was not over 80,000 pounds. You're allowed to be 80,000 pounds and less, 80,000 pounds and lighter, but anything over that, you're gonna get a ticket. But he gave me a citation because I was overweight by 1,000 pounds on my drive axles. And he basically gave me a warning, but fortunately it's something that the company would cover because I had a paper trail. Luckily I had a paper trail. I had just came from fueling up at a pilot, and I had my scale ticket and a receipt showing that my weight was in compliance with DOT standards. You know what I'm saying? Under 12,000 pounds on the steers, 34,000 and lighter on the drives, and 34,000 lighter on the trailer tandems. So I had a paper trail showing him, hey, look, this is where I just came from. This is what the scale said my weight was. Bum, bum, bum. So he couldn't really argue with the black and white, but he had to do his job as well. So if you're watching these videos, you're gonna be watching my channel. I'm just gonna be giving it to you blood raw, cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? In its purest form. And I'm just doing it for the people that need help just as bad as I do, or as bad as I did when I first started. So and y'all buckle on y'all seatbelts, man. Y'all buckle on y'all seatbelts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to take y'all for a ride, man. And take y'all for a ride. Good thing I got some downtime right now. I can record these videos. I don't know where to start. I really don't. I'm new to this vlogging, so you guys bear with me. Y'all comment, let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see, what kind of content y'all interested in me uploading. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And I'm just doing it for y'all, for the people, man. I'm just doing it for you guys. You know, y'all give me some feedback. Let me know what's going on, man. Rookie OTR Trucker. And while I'm at it, I guess I'll just give you guys a brief tour of my truck. So here it is. Y'all excuse the mess on the top bunk, but I don't use that top bunk, so I just utilize it as like a storage for my clothes and stuff like that. So before I give y'all a tour, let me okay, so here is my paperwork compartment. Here's another compartment just like it, but it's empty. I don't have anything in it. Here's where I keep all my trip information. You know, all my receipts, my scale tickets, my BOLs, bills of lading, trip sheets. This is how you get paid. Without this, you don't get paid. You'll be driving thousands of miles for free. And this is all my other, you know, previous trip information. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay organized, man. If you're serious about your craft, if you're serious, you'll be you'll do just fine. You know, and I got them all in chronological order. You know, the oldest at the bottom, the newest at the top. You know, so for you guys that use the TransFlow, it's basically like how you communicate with your company and send them your paperwork. I don't use the app. Me personally, I like to go inside of the truck stop and use the fax machine. And I always keep my TransFlow receipt and staple it to the trip sheet, you know? Trip sheet on the front with the bubble. Bills of lading. Piece of paper with all the receipts on it. And you can't go wrong like that. Sometimes you'll send in your TransFlow and then your company will send you a message on your Qualcomm or whatever the trucking GPS system you have. You got a Qualcomm, Garmin, and Rand McNally. So your trucking company might send you a message saying, hey, we didn't get your paperwork. Please resend it or send in this confirmation number. So just be on top of your game, guys. You know, I'm about to get back to this tour of my truck. I'm sorry. Y'all forgive me. This is only my second video. I don't have any professional tools yet, but y'all just work with me, guys. Y'all work with me. But let me just give y'all a brief history about myself. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know, the bottom of the mount, Broward County 954, home of Kodak Black. Free little yak, man. Anyway, I've only been driving for about 2 months. Right now it's mid-March. I've been driving since mid-January. So yeah, about 60 days. And I'm out here by myself. No trainer, no nothing. You know, most companies send you out with a trainer. I'm by myself. So I've encountered a lot of problems. Well, I won't even say problems, but, you know, learning situations. You know, learning experiences. And, yeah. I've been on the road for 2 months, and the 8 months prior to that, I was back in my hometown serving time on probation because I had just got released from prison. I was sentenced to 5 years in FDOC, Florida Department of Corrections, state prison. I only served 4 years and 2 months, 85% of your time. You know, Florida got an 85% rule, so all in all, I did 100% of my time. Because the time that I had got on gang time in prison, I did that on probation. So I've been out 10 months driving. I've been out 8 months, driving 2 months. That's 10 months. My sentence was 60 months. 60 minus 10 is 50. 4 4 years and 2 months. It's 4 years. 4 years is 48 months, and the 2 months that makes 50. 50 months is what I served in prison, and the other 8 months is what I served. The other 8 months is when I served on probation. Anyway, long story short, me just getting out, determined not to ever go back, is what led me to want to do trucking. You know, I thought about it while I was in prison. You know, I calculated the numbers. You know, they say, hey, truck drivers make 70, 80 grand a year, close to 100, nothing less than 50 to start out with. And I was like, you know what? For somebody with a criminal background, that's not so bad. You know what I'm saying? Doctors and teachers, and you know, they make that kind of money, but you need all kind of degrees and a clean slate to even be considered for those kinds of jobs. So nonetheless, that's what I started thinking about, and I just put 1 foot forward. When I got out, I was determined to do it. I started studying for my test on my phone while I was still at work release. And the major, I was in work release in Miami, and the lieutenants and the major that was over the work release facility saw how focused and determined I was about me getting my CDL, so I can, you know, make a better life for myself when I get out. And they allowed me to go to the DMV. I used to ride the bike. The work release center I was at was in Doral, Florida. It's still Miami-Dade County, but I used to ride the bike like 8 miles to and 8 miles from the DMV. Is in the same plaza where the flea market is. I want to say that's Liberty City. And I started studying on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Studying for the general knowledge test. I aced it, knocked it out first quarter. Knocked that out, and the combination vehicles out the first time. I had to come back a second time and do the general knowledge test. I did the general knowledge and combination vehicles. I failed the air brakes the first time, then I came back like a week later and passed it. Anyway, man, this is just for the underdogs, man. My channel gonna be for the underdogs, man. People that had their back against the wall, you know, people that got the chip stacked against them. That's what I'm doing it for, man. Like I was saying about the lieutenant and the major, you're not supposed to have a driver license when you in state custody. Even though I was at work release, I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the correction system. And when you locked up, you're not supposed to have no driver license. You know what I'm saying? But they bent the rules for me or whatever, and because they saw I was serious. And back to what I was saying about me just trying to make a better life for myself. I had got my permit while I was in there, and I had been communicating with CDL schools. I was like, hey, look, I get released in 3 months. You know, I'm interested in coming to the school. I already got my permit. I just need to take the driving test and, you know, the backing maneuvers and XYZ. And when I got out, I was focused. I was determined. I got out in May. Had already signed up for the school. They just didn't have, they didn't start the new class until October. So went to the school. No. I got out in May. The school started in August. So for 2 months, I was just working, you know, staying out of trouble. Then in August, I went to the school, graduated in October. Had to wait October, November, December, 3 months until the new year came around when I got off probation. And here I go. This is me. This is my journey. But without further ado, guys, this is my truck. This is a tour of my truck. All right. It's not as organized as I would like it to be, but okay, let me start here. Let me see. I got my canned goods. I got my oatmeal. I got fruit pre-sliced, so when I'm ready to eat, when I'm driving, I could just pull over real quick, munch on that. Got to have that fruit, guys. Fruit and vegetables, you got to have it. Oatmeal, high in fiber, got to have that. You know, I just got plain oatmeal, no flavored oatmeal. I keep a lot of this stuff. It's gonna fill you up. You know, these are only $1 at your local grocery store. A bunch of canned goods. Excuse me, I got a bunch of canned goods, y'all. So, beans, a lot of canned greens. I got a lot of these green beans, sweet peas, artichoke hearts, toilet paper, even though I probably never really need it. Use the bathroom at truck stops, or if you go to the warehouse, they always have a restroom. You can use their stuff and save your own. But I got my food items on the top shelf, and in that little compartment over there. Here on the bottom shelf, I have my hygiene. So you must keep this, especially in the wake of this coronavirus stuff. But I always make sure I keep my hygiene stocked up even before that. Take me one of these a day. There's about 100 tablets in here, only for $6. You can't beat that. Now, excuse my chapped lips. I haven't put on any chapstick yet, but yes, I do have some. A lot of it. A lot of hygiene. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and go through every item, but I got, you know, all of it. Just in case you, you know, get sick or something. Gotta keep a lot of this stuff, man. You know, body wash, and, you know, things of that nature. Soap dish. When you go into those truck stops, you're not going to sit your soap on those soap racks and stuff like that. You know, toothbrush holder. Yeah, man, make sure you guys invest in y'all some canned goods and, you know, the things that'll fill you up, man, because it only took me a week to realize that spending money at those truck stops